Victor Cruz of the New York Football Giants at Team Vic here on the Rich Eisen Show on Twitter. Here on the Rich Eisen Show. Which would you be more tired of talking about, Victor? Deflategate or the fact that Marshawn Lynch gets fined for not talking after games?
I think it'd be about Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know he's not going to talk. Let's just move on.
I know. Well, the league is apparently hitting him for $75,000, Victor.
Wow.
That's a lot of salsa, isn't it?
I can buy you a lot of salsa. Very true.
How are you doing? Let's start with that.
I'm doing very well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's your knee? How's that?
My knee is doing amazing. There's been no setbacks. I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I just recently had a slight tweak in my calf, but the rehab's going well with that, and we're taking it day by day.
So can you just walk me through what the rehab for you was like with your knee while you're watching the Giants play football without you, Victor? What was that like?
It was demoralizing, man. I mean, you go out there and prepare yourself for a season and think you're okay and you have a great training camp and you go out there and first couple of weeks have some good games and you're putting some wins together and trying to be, at the top of your game, and then something like that happens and you have to watch the rest of the season. It's not the easiest thing to do, man, but it's good to get that other perspective from a fan point of view.
Well, I think you're the perfect person to ask this question, Victor, and I'm about to ask it. But I want to set it up by saying clearly, as you just said, it's a demoralizing feeling to watch your team play without you while you're rehabbing a knee injury on your own, like Jordy Nelson's about to do. And a lot of people think that Jordy Nelson's injury in the preseason in a non-contact moment just is a perfect encapsulation of the argument that the preseason is meaningless and there shouldn't be preseason games. And yet, that's where you first found the spotlight in New York against the Jets in a preseason game. So what do you think of the preseason? Is it meaningful, or after seeing a knee injury like Jordy Nelson's and maybe yours, meaningless?
I think it's tough for me to say. I'm such a fan of the preseason because that's where I got my opportunity to show the coaching staff and the world what I can do, and it was something that was dear to me. Those preseason games, I needed every single one to continue to prove myself to this coaching staff and this organization. So I'm a fan of the preseason. I think it's a chance for coaches to evaluate their teams. I just think there may be just one too many games. You know what I mean? It's just maybe scale back a game and so guys can, get that game or two and get right into the season. But I don't think we need to get rid of it altogether because that's such a place where you can find true talent, in my opinion.
So what would you tell Kelvin Benjamin and Jordy Nelson right now, Victor, in particular?
Oh, man, I would tell them that, it's not an easy thing to go through. Things happen. When I injured my knee, I never thought that it would happen. I was in tip-top shape, nothing, I had no ailments or anything like that, so it was something that was new for me to sit back and watch it, but, get an experience out of it. Understand that you get this finally your chance to sit down for a while and view your team from a different perspective. I think about it as something that was, meant to be, and you can look at it and kind of spin it in your own direction.
I'm on the phone with Victor Cruz, New York Giants receiver, here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what about this thing, Jacksonville and Odell Beckham? Were they gunning for him? Were they targeting him, in your estimation, Victor?
In my opinion, maybe not the entire game, but in my opinion, there were 2 or 3 specific balls that were thrown to him, and where the defender, you can see that he wasn't aiming for the football. He was just looking to go directly at Odell Beckham Jr. And those were the only instances that I thought, where guys were kind of gunning for him a little bit. And it's like, valid it's a preseason game and you're trying to make your money and trying to make your team. I understand that, but there's a way to go about playing the game, and that's the only thing I voiced. Obviously, it was made a bigger deal than what it was, but that's just the way I felt.
What's your relationship with Odell like?
He's like a brother to me. I mean, we talk every day. We talk about, things on and off the field, and he's a guy that has my back, and I know, and he knows that I have his, so it's something that kind of affected me when I watched the game and things like that, and even more so that I wasn't out there to help him out.
In a way, he was able to sneak up on some people last year because of him being out with the hamstring injury for the first quarter of the season. That's not going to be the case anymore, Victor. What do you think is his biggest challenge for 2015?
I think his biggest challenge is just going to be coming into games, understanding the way he's going to be played, understanding how defenses are going to come after him, and press him and do different things to, try to disrupt the timing between him and the quarterback. And he has to understand that's part of the game. That's part of being an elite receiver in this league. That's part of, the growing pains of being, an elite receiver, like I said. So he has to understand that and go into games understanding that, and he'll be fine going forward.
Well, how he's defended in a way, depends on how effective you are, right, Victor? Correct?
Absolutely. If I can go out there and be the player that I'm used to being, making plays and getting some pressure off of him, I think it'll definitely make for a big year for all of us.
So what is your goal for this year then, Victor? What's your goal?
There's only one goal, in my opinion, and that's to make it to the Super Bowl. That's the only goal that you play this game for, especially in the National Football League. You want to put together a good enough season to get yourself into the postseason, and then anyone has a shot after that. And we definitely think that our goal is to be playing for the Super Bowl this year.
Well, as in terms of that being a possibility, clearly defensively the team needs to be a little bit more stout than it was last year as well. Have you spoken to Jason Pierre-Paul at all, Victor Cruz?
I haven't spoken to him as of yet. I shot him a text message a while back around when the incident happened and things like that, but I haven't spoken to him yet. I plan on reaching out to him this weekend to see how he's doing.
Well, has anybody spoken to him on the team, as far as you know?
Not that I know of. I've been, kind of dialed in with training camp and getting focused and understanding what we have to do from a day-to-day standpoint. That I haven't, seen if anyone else has spoken to him or anything like that. I'm not sure.
Well, would you at least understand why people would think that's odd? Not that you wouldn't know, but the fact that maybe there is a possibility that nobody on the team has been able to connect with him. Certainly from the player level, I know that the management has had a difficult time of it. Victor?
Yeah, it's not something that's ideal. We understand he went through something that's very, very dramatic. You know what I mean? And it's something that you just want to give him his personal space as a friend, first and foremost. Mm-hmm. And when he's ready to contact you, he will. Everyone has their own ways about going about their certain circumstances.
Well, Victor Cruz joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Changing gears, to say the least here. Who has done a better acting job in the last several weeks? You on Ballers, working with Rob Corddry, or Eli Manning for the DirecTV commercial where he plays the bad stand-up comic Eli Manning? Which one is better, Victor?
Eli Manning was great, man. I got to go with E. I'm not biased, obviously, because he's my quarterback and he throws me the football.
Sure.
But I do.
Okay.
But I like his commercial, man. He really killed. To dress up in all those different characters, that was pretty cool.
But you could say it, Victor, because Rob Corddry is going to be a guest on this show on Friday. You carry Rob in those scenes, right, Victor?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Did you watch the episodes?
Yes.
Rich, I'm carrying this man. I stole the show, in my opinion.
Well, and maybe that's the way that you tweaked your calf, was carrying him, literally. Right, Victor?
Potentially. You never know. Rob's kind of heavy. He's gained a couple of pounds since Ballers came out.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure. Is there anything I should know about Rob before he comes in, about acting with him, Victor, in these scenes?
No, he's amazing. He is a UMass grad, just like myself, so we definitely share that.
Okay. And is this something you want to do once you hang up the cleats?
I think so. It's definitely one of my passions right now, and I definitely want to just, take baby steps into it in the off season and do different things. But I do want to be an actor post career.
Well, we make things come true here, Victor. We're sitting here. We're here in the seat of Tinseltown Power here in Southern California. Is there a show in particular, other than ones that you've been on, that you'd like to throw your hat in the ring, a cameo, a guest appearance, that you'd like to say, look, fan of that show, love to be on that show? Victor Cruz, is there one?
That's a good question. I think, in my opinion, if it wasn't a show, it's definitely a movie. There's always been a movie that I've had in mind,
okay,
and it's always to be the James Bond. I've always wanted to be like a James Bond character. Mm-hmm. An athlete, athletic, jumping over things, cranes, all kind of crazy stuff. So I think James Bond would definitely be it.
What would Tom Coughlin think if you jumped over a crane now, Victor? What would he think about that one?
He wouldn't think too highly of that. He'd probably think I was pretty crazy, to be honest with you.
Hey, Victor, it's fun chatting with you. I look forward to the next one here on the program. And congrats getting back from the knee, and I look forward to seeing what you can do on the field this year.
No problem, Rich. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. That's Victor Cruz at Team Vic, one of the good guys.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.